Again, I just want to go over my personal 30 breath practice that I sort of sprinkle in throughout the day. And basically it's just 30 breaths with a little bit of movement just to get my spine through full range of motion and to sort of center myself and get myself ready for maybe a little bit of box breathing, a little bit of mindfulness, maybe a little bit of yoga. So I'll just go through it very quickly and then I'll explain the bits and pieces. So first thing I'll do is I'll sit down on my yoga mat, take 3 breaths, just to center myself, usually with the eyes closed. The 3-part breath, belly, rib cage, and collarbones, just sort of centering myself, getting myself situated. And then I'll do 3 arm circles up, expressing full range of motion of the hands and the arms, or the shoulder. 3 arm circles up. Usually I'll go slower than this. And then I'll go to third eye, the mouth, to heart center, big inhale. And then I'll say my mantra, which is, thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, forgive me. Inhale up, exhale, then I start going through some spinal motions, hands on the knees, chest up, chin up, inhale, exhale, curl it in. So you'll see I'm sort of like a tree in the wind, inhaling up, trying to show the throat up to the sky, exhaling, curling down. 3 rounds of these sort of cat-cows with some arm variations, and then I'll have left hand down, right hand up on the inhale, side bends. Again, like a tree in the wind, I'm trying to keep my butt rooted to the ground. 3 rounds of this per side, 3 reaches per side, getting my spine from the C-spine to the thoracic, through the lumbar to the lumbar spine, all that good motion. And then what I'll do is I'll do 3 twists per side. So left hand on right knee, extend back behind, making sure I look back, so it's completing the spinal twist. Either have the hand extended or palm up with the hand back, or I'll do a back, or I'll go back for a bind. And so I'll do it 3 times each side, just what this looks like on this side is inhaling back, getting tall, exhaling back through center. Inhale up, exhale back. And then what I'll do with a bind is I'll reach my hand for the opposite hip. Still trying to stay tall, still completing that spinal twist. Then 3 more arm circles. Inhaling to third eye. Exhaling to the nose. Inhaling to heart. The mantra, thank you, I'm sorry, I love you, forgive me. Inhaling up. Final exhale. That's a 30 breath practice. It's something that I do if I wake up in the middle of the night, just to get my spine and my shoulders, because I sort of sleep in weird, gross positions. It's something that I find helps my shoulders when I wake up not feeling so drunky and crummy. It's also something, first thing I do in the morning, last thing I do before I go to bed, and I sprinkle it throughout my day in some practices. So it's something that I've sort of just developed myself, so feel free to change it, modify it however you see fit. But basically the 3 big arm circles is just big, full expression of range of motion of your shoulders. So if you have those palms up, as you reach up, fingertips touch, you can't really see it in the video, but the fingertips touch without the rib cage jacking up. That's full range of motion of your shoulder, pulling through center, pressing while keeping those shoulders in a good strong position, not internally rotating, keeping them nice and down, the elbows nice and down. It's something that's very useful, very good for your shoulders, getting them through full expression of the range of motion. And the third eye stuff, the mantra, that's just sort of me. I like that. I want those to be the last things I say and the first thing I say in any given day, and sort of greases the groove for me to be able to say it in everyday life. So that's just what works for me. And then the spinal twist, the spinal movements, it's sort of like if you think of your abs as just a big, of your spine as just a big stick, and your abs sort of bracing against it, you want to imagine that your spine does a couple things. Your abs protect you from doing a couple motion. This motion, left and right, wiggle, and then twist. And so expressing all of those things is very important for your spine, sort of wringing it out like a towel, getting lymphatic fluid, getting good blood circulation. It's very important. And it would be great to do this while standing, but it's also, take what you can get. So that's the sort of variations. For what I do is I'll do 3 different variations for each of those 3 rotations through. So for just the forward back, cat-cows, I'll inhale up, exhale down, Inhale, reach up. Keeping the ribcage down, exhaling down. Inhale, back up. Elbows tight, or elbows out wide, fingertips interlaced, and exhale, curling in it. Inhaling back up to a neutral spine, and then I'll lift the left hand just a little bit, let the head loll with it, get that little tree lean. One more each side. And it's also something you also have to think about your posture as you lean in, so you're not turning, torquing, you're just doing exactly what you're trying to do. Inhale up, this is the big arm reach. And then the third time around, I'll get my hand behind my head, get that elbow as high as I can. One time each side. For the spinal twists, internal rotation as you go back, just back here is the most stable position for your shoulder. So I'll have the palm up just for this low position, and I'll look back, trying to stay tall, trying to pull this hip forward, pull this hip back, so it's all coming from the spine, not from the hips being shifted around, or as best I can, right? And now just the other side. And then I'll extend the arm back out. This time I have external rotation, palm up. Good, strong position of the shoulders. And then the final one, as I showed before, is the bind back there for the opposite hip. I do this probably 4 or 5 times a day. It's just 30 breaths. It takes maybe like 2 minutes. I like to go very slowly, sort of, especially those first 3 breaths are important just to get yourself centered. Start feeling that 3-part breath, because usually before that moment you've probably been taking very shallow, gross breaths. So pick a variation of this for yourself that might work for you. The details aren't that important, but the big broad ones, the big spinal movements, linking the movement with the breath. So inhale up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down, and working on quality of breath, not just the positions, not just the postures. Inhaling and exhaling. Especially during the twist, that's when you're in a very compromised position. So it's almost more important to get those good breaths in, being strong, being braced, and then exhaling. And I like to close it out just for symmetry purposes. And so if you count out all those breaths, it's 30 breaths, and centers me real quick. Hope you enjoyed.